Hey, it's the Chief Bonding with Board Games and RPGs. Today we're going to take a deeper look at the offerings for Vaesen. Now, of course, Vaesen is from Free League Games out of Sweden. I've already done a video unboxing of the core rulebook. Now, for those that don't know, Vaesen is mystery. Think Call of Cthulhu style, 1900s early. But Vaesen are the Nordic folklore fairy tale type creatures. But again, you're solving a mystery. Now, real quick, for those folks out there that don't know Free League, they're killing it. All right. Twilight 2000, 4E, Aliens franchise, or Alien, but yes, you can get the Colonial Marines as well. AMC's The Walking Dead. Go check my show out for me and my best friend going through and trying to survive in Atlanta as we speak. But what I'll be diving into deeper here with a part 1 and then a part 2. Part 1 will be the expansion book for the base core rules. This book will take you to the Vaesen, or the mysteries and the folklore and the fairy tales of England and Ireland, bringing those creatures in and a couple more guided mysteries in here as well. And then I will shoot a part 2 because I'm going to dive into each of these 3 books, which all focus on multiple different mysteries that are kind of pre-packaged, set up, and that your GM can just run for you with some wrinkles laid in here that we'll look at in just a second. I'll be right back and we'll be over top of Britain and Ireland. Woo. Based on the core book, which is quite thick, so first thing I want to show you is just a little bit skinnier, a little bit smaller. Still has the ribbon in it, but you can see the base core rules are a little bit chunkier, but that's what you would expect. But now, let me slide this over a little bit so that we can peel this open and you can just start to see what's going to be offered here. Now again, everything about the Vaesen series it feels kind of old world. It's almost like water-stained pages make them feel and look old. Now the paper is very heavyweight and your artwork is almost sparse. They're not trying to jam everything in. It is a very lived-in book experience, if that makes sense. You'll kind of see as I flip through. Now again, I'm not going to cover every page, but again, you can just see nothing here feels forced or tight. We'll be going through and just giving a brief overview of these 6 different chapters. So literally Mythic, Britain and Ireland, the society, the individual supernatural creatures, and then we will really briefly show the 3 mysteries that are included. Old Meg, the Lanthanwill incident, and the Hampton Group. You can see your mythic islands of Britain and Ireland. And again, that same period piece. Heavy paper and beautiful, beautiful art. On this page in particular, they're showing what city life was like. And then you have the option of following social class. Now, I've read through this briefly, and it doesn't mean that one class doesn't associate with the other, but they'll be working together. Like you may have a doctor who's from an upper class, but in your party you have a chimney sweep that doubles as a thief. So when I'm role-playing, appreciate that. But again, it's optional. You don't have to do this. But again, you're stepping into, or at least what I like to do is step into the period, to fully drop into a role. And there is plenty of history here to help you do that, if that's what you choose to do. Let me skip ahead a little bit. You saw on the other page that you had London. These are important cities and some of the backgrounds between these cities so that you can feel them as you're moving around. You get a touch of the rural life and London as the heart of that great extended empire that the sun never sets upon. So again, you'll get tons of history here. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next chapter. As you can see here, we've got St. Paul's Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, the Houses of Parliament explained, Scotland Yard, the British Museum, Highgate Cemetery. I'm sure you're going to want to spend some time in the cemetery. But let me move on through, and you get a beautiful travel map of London so that you can be moving block by block, or you know which bridge is accessible from the location where you were at. This would be one of those maps I would like to have on the table, because you know the players are going to want to pull that map over larger than what it is here in the book and just kind of study it and figure out where are we going from here. Or if they split the party, you know, where is that chimney sweep that's trying to commit that theft or whatnot. Again, great map. Tables for non-player characters. Celebrity encounters, so actual people from history. Jack the Ripper. Societies and groups. And a very nice page covering parallel worlds. It talks about how there's a lot of myth and folklore in Britain and Ireland that talk about these parallel dimensions or worlds that beings can travel between, and sometimes humans can as well. So lots of information and history to allow you to do the same thing. So as we move into this chapter, the society is the mythical group of individuals with the sight that understand the Vaesen. You're the secret society that is aware of what is going on behind the veil. And in this particular chapter, it's explaining how Britain and Ireland have historically handled things different than the Scandinavian, quote, society, again, which comes from the base core rulebook. You do have new archetypes, so we have the athlete, your entertainer, and your socialite. Socialite. We get into the specific supernatural creatures. I'll show you a few, but not all. The black dog. Now again, I want to emphasize how beautiful the layout is. Not only your art that shows you what you're talking about, but the way the explanation is laid out, the cursive text, your boxes for characteristics, whatever the secret here is in this case. It's just a beautiful two-pager that allows you to kind of take everything in at a glance and then dial down in as you wish. Doulahan I like, the Headless Horseman. We have that same type of thing in the United States. Of course, a leprechaun, of course. A Knuckle-Avy, or Avi, who looks terrifying. A pixie, and I'm going to skip on through several more and show you the red cap. Now this is the first mystery, and I'll just read that opening paragraph. This mystery for Vaesen takes place in the rural west of England, where the old ways died hard and echoes of the pagan past are all around. It can equally well be set in Scandinavia, where there are similar traditions of hags and troll wives and of miracle-working saints. While the cause of the mystery is not difficult to determine, the characters will find themselves faced with a powerful foe who is not at all easy to stop. That's all I'll cover on each of the mysteries, just to give you a little bit of a touch. And we're looking at the Lenten Will. Again, put in the comments how to actually say that phonetically if you can. But again, just to give that first paragraph again of what this mystery is, the player characters travel to a mining village in Wales, where they must find some way to make peace between the spirits of the local mine and a zealous minister determined to rid the valley of its pagan superstitions. The Hampstead Group. Now I'm going to add in a picture because in the upper left-hand corner, which you can't really read, you'll see there's a content warning, and the other mysteries have this as well. But this particular content warning warns of drug use, violence, death, and gore. Now, the base core rules do explain that you can tone all of this down as the GM if you have kids playing or folks that just aren't interested maybe in the gore. But as you're dealing with, again, think Call of Cthulhu, you're going to have things that are terrifying or scary for your players and the characters that they're running. So having the content warning just kind of lets you know, oh, this is the road we're getting ready to go down. So be prepared. Let me read the prelude for the Hampstead group. This mystery takes place in the heart of London, a place where few expect to find fairies and other supernatural creatures. The borough of Hampstead has grown recently thanks to the North London Railway, as the wealthy flee the increasingly crowded centre for the fresh air and pleasant walks of nearby Hampstead Heath. Among those attracted to Hampstead's fine houses and pleasant views are a growing number of artists and other creative types. Newford House is a home to one such colony whose activities and lifestyle scandalize the older neighbors and fascinate the younger ones. So again, just a touch. Let me show you what's left in this book, but you can see how tantalizing these individual mysteries actually are. So we're into the handout section. I'm not going to zoom in. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but you can see you can photocopy these, and this looks like a folded up letter, or you have a very nice cursive letter here. You have a clipping from a newspaper. You have yet another very nice handwritten letter, something typed. You've got a little pocket photo. So there's some very nice little handouts that you can just sprinkle out to your players as need be. So in the appendix, you have tables that allow you to create your characters with the expanded professions, giving life event tables, and a nice bibliography that you can just work through, and an index, and again, very nice thick paper, and the back cover. So a beautiful touch if you are already playing Vaesen and you want to head to Britain and Ireland. You can see the quality continues, and for part 2, where we will take a look at these other guided mysteries for Vaesen.